everybody? Welcome back to another episode of More Than the Title. I'm your host, as usual, Jarrett Thomas, Chief Revenue Officer at Outside the Box Digital. And you know I got my brother, my brethren, your favorite CEO, Chadeo. What's good, baby?
I'm recovering.
Yeah, yesterday was crazy.
Last night was a movie.
Yes. Shout out to Audience Plus, man, for putting on a great event, man. That Golden Hour event was something real.
Now, you know what, man? You know, we talked about this yesterday, and we definitely gave them their flowers, man. We've been to a lot of networking events, a lot of business and marketing events, and a lot of them was trash.
That's a fact.
all our Spanish users, basuda juice.
That's a fact. And you know what's crazy? I didn't know to today, man. Their company that's only has 7 employees, and they put on an event like that. Yeah, so crazy. Shout out to them, man. They had a lot of good people. Shout out to Devin. Shout out to Deidre, DG, all of the people, all of the old friends from the show, new friends we met, man. It was a lot of great connections being made. So we out there. We already know we moving and shaking, y'all.
Yeah, it was a great event, man. And you know, let's just talk about that real quick. What made it a good event was not only the structure of the event, but the energy in the room, right? Everybody was there for a common goal. There was nobody standing around acting stush and acting Hollywood and standoffish. Everybody was there. Everybody was forthcoming. And when you have that kind of energy, everybody feels like they're approachable, then it just transforms the event, man. And that's what happened last night, man. So once again, shout out to you guys. We absolutely love the event and look forward to going to the next one.
That's a fact. We definitely going back next year. And also shout out to y'all, man, as followers, as supporters, everybody across every platform in the whole entire community, man. Shout out to y'all because we growing and glowing every week. Right now, the YouTube numbers are looking crazy, man. We appreciate y'all. The shorts are going crazy. The episodes are going crazy. Thank you guys for the feedback, the comments, the love. We appreciate y'all, man. Y'all help us keep going. You know what I mean?
Even the negative ones.
Even the negative ones. But
be having us laughing. I ain't gonna hold you. Sometimes y'all be saying some negative shit. We love it too, because you be keeping us on our toes. We be laughing. We don't pay it no mind, but we be laughing though.
Yeah, the love overpowers the hate, man. We get way more positive than negative. I'll tell you that.
It's all right though. Listen, everybody entitled to their opinion, man. And we not one thing about us. If you notice, when you put up some negative shit, we leave it there. We don't delete it. You know what I'm saying? We don't mute it and all that. Listen. Everybody got an opinion, man. We welcome all opinions. You heard? Let's have the algorithm. That's a fact.
That's it. Yeah, I mean,
anyway.
You know what I'm saying? Also, with that said, shout out to our distribution partners, the Live Podcast Network, the first women-owned, Black-owned podcast network in the world. Shout out to Angel Leaving. She was also celebrated for one of the top women in business leaders in the world by Inc. magazine. That's a major, major accomplishment. Shout out to the queen. And if you want more content from Black content creators like More Than the Title, make sure y'all tap in. You dig? We're going to leave that up for a second.
Yeah.
And then with that shit, you already know.
Let's start the show.
You already know. So we got a great episode as usual lined up for you guys. So we're going to introduce this queen. I'm going to give y'all a little bit of background while I get everything going up. But, you know, we introduced by a mutual friend. Shout out to our brother Dante. Said, man, you got to talk to this queen. She got a lot of awesome things going on. And she's really amazing. She got a great story. So, of course, we wanted to, we reached out, made it happen. And we're happy to have her on the show today. But she grew up in a small town just south of Atlanta. This queen's journey embodies resilience and creativity in the face of adversity. From feeling like the odd one out to serving as a logistics officer in the United States Army, her path was anything but conventional. From transitioning from military service to the world of fashion and design, fueled by her passion of innovation and self-expression, she founded 1920, a brand that seamlessly merges functionality with style, catering to diverse needs and sizes from extra small to 5X. And with a small dedicated team, including her husband, she is on a mission to not only revitalize the fashion industry, but also give back to those in need. Let's give it up to the CEO of 1920 and founder, Ashley Sankar. Y'all, let's get it. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. Super excited to talk to y'all.
Please keep your hands and feet inside the vehicle at all times. Please engage your safety mechanism, because this is about to be a ride. Wow.
Message.
But as you know, I ain't gonna lie, queen. Like as I'm saying your intro, as I'm saying your bio, I'm like, that's a hell of a transition, right? From logistics officer to founding a fashion company. But before we get into that, I kind of want to lead into that. Tell us a little bit about your upbringing, some of your early influences and things like that. We'd love to hear that.
Yeah, most definitely. So I'm from a small town called LaGrange outside of Atlanta, Georgia. Definitely grew up not the popular kid, which is amazing because I guess I have so many people that believe that my, company and product is so cool. But growing up, I was fueled to kind of join the military just because my home life was not the best. And I thought, you know what? I think the Army may not be that bad. So I knew I wanted to go to college, became an officer in the US Army, served for about 9 years. But I wanted to get out and do something else. The military taught me a lot of discipline, gave me a lot of grit, and I think prepared me to be an entrepreneur because starting your own business, you do prepare for a lot of no's until you hopefully get a yes.
Message.
Right? Yeah.
The
military definitely prepares you for that. So once I transitioned out of the military, went into the corporate world, went to work for a lot of different companies in a leadership capacity and still do, but founded this company just through passion for travel, and wanting to do something new and different in the industry and in the space.
We skipped over something, bro. We gotta say first and foremost, thank you for your
service, for sure.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
We cannot have this conversation without first acknowledging the fact that you was willing to put your life on the line for this country. So thank you for your service. We appreciate it. I'm also a brother in arms. I'm a United States Marine. So
nice.
I understand exactly what you went through. So from one service member to another, thank you for your service.
Thank you.
That's a fact, though.
Yeah,
that's a fact. So, but what was it that made you? Because you said it wasn't for you, right? So you was going through life. You said I needed that. The Army, the military gave you a lot of good lessons and stuff like that. But what made you leave that, right? And then you kind of went into corporate. What was like the one reason, and also some of the lessons?
Yeah. So what's interesting? A lot of my obviously fellow officers, they say, you know what? We always felt like Ashley was kind of too smart for the Army. Even though I was an officer, they tell you something and you're just supposed to say how high, so no matter how ridiculous it was, no matter how little sense it made, they just expected you to execute. And so kind of coming up on that 10-year, you have to make a decision. Am I going to do an additional 10 and do 20? Or am I going to now make the jump before I get in too deep and then I'm not attractive to corporate companies and things like that? And so I got just a little bit tired of the red tape, a little bit tired of the kind of doing things that didn't make sense and not questioning them because of the history of it all. And so I decided, you know what? Let me exit stage left now while I fulfilled my obligations and, see what other impact I can have on the world other than serving, since I had done my time.
Yeah, I love that. I want to touch on something though. I didn't know you was an officer, and I want to touch on the fact that you actually was an officer. I was enlisted, and the reason that I went and enlisted was because of lack of education. Okay, so and not lack of education because I didn't have it, lack of education because I didn't know the difference between the options of going in as an officer and going in enlisted. It's two different worlds. You as an officer and somebody in the Army as enlisted, you live two completely different lives. And 100%. I think it's very important to educate our viewers. If you're going to go into the United States military service, please do your research as much as possible. And the best research in the world is talk to somebody that's already inside the service branch that you want to go into and find out what your options are. Because like I said, just pay disparity right off the bat between an officer that's a 01. For you to even reach an 01 level of pay, you would have to be like an E7 or something enlisted, which is like 10 to 12 years. You would have to be in on the enlisted side to make what this young lady is making right out of college. But again, she went to college, right? So again, like to become an officer, you have to have a college degree. So it's the give and the take. You have to kind of commit to something first. But for anybody thinking about going into the military, there are options other than being enlisted, which is OCS, Officer Candidate School, and things of that nature. But please do your research on it, man, because it will determine your experience in the military.
Right.
So, but what is the difference though? Right. Like, so if you go in as enlisted, right, you going in as an officer, you still go through the same trainings, the same things like that.
No.
Right? Or is it not? All right. So explain that.
So let's just do it this way so we don't drag it out. The easiest way to tell you the difference is Ashley came out when she came out of the military, she automatically was put into management. Let's just say it like that.
Gotcha.
Officers are management. They're your supervisors, your high-level managers. Enlisted are the guys doing all the grunt work. That's the easiest way to do it, right? Enlisted is the employees, and the officers come right out as management. That's the easiest way to put it. Yeah.
Why the fuck would you want to do anything but management?
Right. Look, you see what you did? Right. Why would you want to, right? But if you don't know the difference, if you don't know that that's even a possibility, then when you sign up, they just hurry up and sign you up. You understand what I'm saying?
Man, hell yeah.
Guess what? College is not for everybody, right? Remember, when I came out of high school, I could have went to any college I wanted to, but I wasn't ready for college here. So if you don't have a degree, it doesn't matter how smart you are. This is how they close the doors on you. If you do not have a degree, you can't even apply for officer candidate school without it. The degree could be in basket weaving. You understand? But you just have to have a degree to apply. You don't have a degree, the doors already is closed automatically. So that's just a major difference right off the bat.
And now in today's military, the degree can stop you from crossing E7 if you want to become, a master sergeant, master gunner sergeant, I think, for you all. But because we're not necessarily in a wartime. So any sort of things that they can put in your way to stop you from getting to that next level, it's becoming more competitive. You can't just go out and be like, oh, I got a Purple Heart, so I'm going to get, promoted. Now they want to see a bachelor's degree. Some people are even getting masters to get promoted on the enlisted side.
Yeah. So to give you context, right? Also, Jarrett, right? Like my son, right? My son's in the Army, right? But because he didn't go to college, he's enlisted. But now that he's back home, he's going through school. You see, that's why he's in college, right? So now, once he finishes his degree, the college that he's going to has what's called the ROTC program, and then they'll funnel him right through officer candidate school, and then he'll come out as an officer. You see what I'm saying?
That makes sense.
But look, he's already behind the curve because now at this point, he by the time he becomes an officer, he would have been enlisted already 4 years. You see, you understand what I'm saying?
I definitely dig it. Definitely dig it. So you spent 9 years doing that as Queen, and then from there, like, what was the first corporate gig? Like, what was your capacity in corporate?
Yeah, so I went on to work for a big German company called Siemens. They make, trains.
I was gonna press the button too.
Ashley, I'm sorry, Queen. I was gonna let it rock, but it was the tone, the emphasis on it. It didn't sit well with my soul. I'm sorry. I was gonna let it slide, but the tone didn't sit right. It was the tone. It was the tone, Jack.
It was absolutely the tone. So it was a big German company. I won't repeat it.
You said big German and then lead into that.
That's a company. If I just said the big German,
I just was like, I don't like it.
Yeah, so I mean, they were large in size locations all over the world. Went there to become a logistics manager, did well, but I wanted to increase my pay. So historically, I have kind of jumped from company to company to increase my pay. After that, I went and became a strategic consultant for a Big Four. And then now currently I'm a corporate professional at Amazon. So have definitely been able to kind of increase my
Before we go further, please educate me. I don't know what a Big Four is. Can you elaborate? I don't know what that is. And maybe some of the listeners don't know. Can you elaborate what a Big Four is? Because I don't know what that is.
Yeah, so the Big Four is actually it goes into consulting, and there's Big Four companies that are across tax and audit, and then strategy. Those Big Four are PwC, Ernst & Young, Deloitte, and I think the other one is McKinsey. But yeah, so those are the Big Four, and it's very prestigious. It's very difficult to get into, but I went and did that for a bit of time as well. Before coming to Amazon.
Oh, well, now that I know what that is, you get another horn. Yeah. Now you get another horn because, obviously you faced so many uphill battles, right? To even get to the position to apply for that. And you said it's prestigious, so I could only imagine what the interview process is like to actually get in. So congratulations to you that you was able to make that transition. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, so and so right now, so currently you're still working right now, right? And
Yes.
how long has the business been open, and what was like the real inspiration of that?
Yeah, so I've actually been working on the business. I filed for my patents a couple years ago.
So,
Came up with the concept, I think around 2016 or so,
mhm,
and then filed for the patents, which take anywhere from 18 to 30 months. It's a very long process for
yeah,
utility. But I never planned on launching a company. I would say in the background, I've always been interested in doing things, everything from your typical kind of hair company to regular clothing companies. But to me, nothing was ever worth bringing to market because we have such an influx of just stuff. And I wanted whatever I brought to the market to be something that was new,
yeah,
different, and innovative.
yeah.
So, the actual company started selling the end of November 2022, actually. Um,
Okay.
yeah, so we are brand new. We just kind of are barely going to cross into 2 years at the end of this year. But
Like it's a horn.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
for sure.
But it has been a ride. And so I would say just from all the ups and downs of business, because I think a lot of people now they just think, hey, start your own business, you're gonna work for yourself. It's gonna be great. You don't have anybody you have to answer to. That is 100% not true. This starting a business, especially having a successful business, is one of the most difficult things that I have ever done.
You got the double message.
That's a fact. Same
Got
time, man.
the dabble, dabble. Absolutely.
And even if like so
Yeah.
just going into that industry, right? So you starting a business, we're entrepreneurs, we're going on about a year and 4 months right now. So we understand the ebbs and flows of business, right? So what was one of the toughest lessons you learned as a business owner, like just right off the rip? Because you got to figure out right fabrics, like what does that process look like to make your clothing?
Yeah, so from a standpoint, I am a very creative person. I can kind of just on a whim just kind of come up with things. So I
Yeah.
don't find new things to be difficult. I know that also through getting a utility patent that allows me to basically have just a broad range of fabrics that I'm able to do things with, sort of different styles, whether you want a puffer jacket, a trench coat, a parka. So I wanted to make sure that I was able to cover myself from the utility standpoint so that that allowed me to be able to grow the business from a product range. But
Mm,
basically, everything started with a simple sketch. So I think I even still have some of them today, but just like a simple sketch on a notepad. And then I went and I work a lot with different platforms like Fiverr and Upwork.
mm,
Those are my favorite platforms to work with, just from obviously a freelancer standpoint.
yeah.
They were able to turn those sketches into like CAD designs, which is what you need to actually start the process of making the product.
Mhm.
And then I sourced a supplier that I could actually trust and work with to be able to make my clothing and my prototypes. So all of that, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's school right there.
Yeah,
I can
and
see
Yeah.
it.
it's important to understand the process because applying for a patent is not easy. You can get rejected very quickly. You have to show
Yes.
uniqueness, right? You have to show uniqueness because there's so many patents that are already approved and live at this point. At this point, you have to show where yours differentiates, and you have to show where yours doesn't obviously cross over and steal somebody else's design. So
Hmm.
uh,
Yeah.
again, like education, right? And I just want to before we get past that, right? Because again, this is not something that even in the military, I've been in the military. We don't talk about patents in the military. You understand
Yeah.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, I'm curious to find out where did you even learn about the idea of, okay, this is where I should start from? Because a lot of people will create the clothing line first, right? They'll work backwards, create it, sell it, get it moving first, and then try to protect it after the fact. What made you say, you know what, instead of doing it that way, I'm gonna reverse engineer it and start with the designs and the protection of it first?
Yeah, so my college degree is actually, I have a bachelor's in sociology, and there's just a lot of research that goes into that. And
Yeah.
then I have a master's from Clark Atlanta in social work. So
Mm,
from the background in sociology, we do a lot of research, just research. And so that's what I found to be my ace in the hole when I started thinking about this process. I started thinking, okay, hey, let me do some tentative research on, does something like this already exist? Because you don't want to waste your money with lawyers either. A lawyer will do a patent search and they'll charge you $500 just to see if something like this exists. Message.
Ooh, no, you going off right now. I love it.
Yeah. So go ahead.
No, you going off.
Okay.
We
yeah. Yeah. So I started doing research. I said, is there anything that converts into a tote bag that starts from a garment? Okay, not seeing anything at all. I said, okay, let me reach out to a lawyer. And so first started that process, but everything that I saw said, if there is any sort of existence of this invention already, you will not be granted the patent. So that's why I never posted on social media. I didn't even show this stuff to friends. I didn't show it to anybody except, my husband, but he didn't really understand at the time. But I kept things very just hush hush, no presence on social media at all, aside from just, my own travel, but I never post anything that I'm working on. Even right now, we're working on new things, new developments. I will never, ever post it. I'll never share it, especially when I have plans to patent it. And that's a number one rule. Message.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, kudos to you for having what we consider that to be forward thinking. Because it's very hard, especially when you're trying something brand new that you've never ventured into, to look for others, especially family members, to support you, right? So sometimes you might just talk about it, about it, get your energy up. Because sometimes you might go through it and hit a rough patch and you might be feeling down, like, is this thing gonna work? So you kind of share your ideas with people to get their input on it, so for you to kind of keep that close to the chest, it's a great way of forward thinking and saying, I can't afford to leak anything like this, because social media, once it's out there, it's out there. You know what I mean? You never know who's looking at how somebody got a picture or some type of information from your page. So kudos to you for having that forward thinking.
Yeah, and the research, that was the part that stood out too. You said it was the research, right? A lot of times we go into business, especially in the Black community, and we don't do our research enough.
Yeah,
a couple of Google searches, and we think we got it figured out, and we jump off the ledge, and then we it's lesser quality than our counterparts or something like that, because we're not doing the research. So that shit is real. So I could definitely commend that. And then you were saying that you vetted and outsource your suppliers, right? So just going on freelancing, finding out those people to do the right things, right? You had the research, reviews, who can get the exact things you needed to give it to the suppliers. Like you could finish running through that process.
Yeah, most definitely. And I think that is something that we do miss in the community, is the pre-work. So once you have your idea, start doing a little bit of research, and then involve just people that you can trust, that are not family and friends. I think we're always so quick to go to family and friends, but through these platforms, there's folks you can get them to sign an NDA. When I started going through to find my supplier, because they are in China, I got them to sign what's called a triple N. I was able to find out through research that China does not have an NDA. They have what's called a triple N agreement. And so that protects you from, if they leak your ideas or something like that, you have a full right to sue them. Message.
Never heard of that.
Yeah.
Now that I know about. I know about the triple N. You understand? Again, it's just an extra layer of protection. Again, as a society, you only hear about NDAs and stuff like that when we're talking about celebrities. Like, let's call it is what it is, right? And in modern day times, when do you actually hear about an NDA or work for hire agreement or anything like that, right? You don't, because again, in our culture, at our level, people that are not being entrepreneur minded, you're not even having that conversation, because again, NDAs can be breached. You understand?
Yeah,
NDAs can be breached, and they can, and not only breached, they can be bypassed, right? They're not, an NDA is not, once you get ironclad. Like, there's ways around NDAs. You understand what I'm saying? So, it's very important, again, to try to just, the thing with anything, ladies and gentlemen, and our audio listeners, the message that we're sending you here is to try to protect yourself as best as possible. This is the key, right? Because if God forbid you come up with a design or something like that and you're actually successful and somebody does steal it, right? Because the world does what they want to do. The whole battle is to show that you tried to do your due diligence the most to protect yourself, right? That will actually save you more money, time, and actually win your case than if you didn't really try to do your due diligence and show that you tried to protect this thing.
100%. And that's why, so my first patent is actually issued through the WPO, which is called the World Patent Organization. And so that allows me to file in any country that I want to for my patent as well. So it's just putting these extra layers, right? Of course, people say, oh my gosh, someone's going to steal it anyway. Well, guess what? We can still go to court. And, you know, if you have that evidence, you have your things together, you can not only sue them for selling your design, you can sue them for the profits that they made. And, you know, that's just what's most important.
Absolutely.
That's real. I definitely want to get a picture before we get out. I definitely want to get a picture of the product up. I definitely really want to get that up on the web. You think you want to pull one up, bro? You ain't gotta do it right now, but I definitely want to show people what it look like so they can understand what the concept is, right? Because when you hear, you know, Parker jackets, different ones, you're like, what is the patent? So you could actually walk us through what the product is and what is the actual patent, if you don't mind.
Yeah, most definitely. So I have 2 issued right now. The first one is actually a jacket that turns into a tote bag and a pillow. And then the second patent protects the kind of jacket, or we went more broad with the second one, but it allows it to turn into a blanket and a pillow as well. So it's an all-encompassing, perfect for travel product that allows me to continue to build upon it. So if anyone else tries to ever do something like that, they won't be able to get a patent because my patents will show up as prior art. And once you kind of see that prior art of like, hey, this has already been done, then it makes it very difficult to even get a patent issued once you see something like that already shows up. So that's why we went for the second patent as well. And then I filed for a third patent that I have in progress right now, which basically it takes the hood of a jacket and you can take it off and like close it up and it becomes a crossbody bag. So that's my third patent that is in the works right now. And then obviously we have more down the line.
That's fire.
Watch this though now. So let me give you background, right? And we talk about how your design must differentiate from somebody else, right? So she talked about puffer jacks and things of that nature. So Jarrett, I don't know if you remember, but North Face been doing that. The 700s, it's called the 700 series. That used to come a color down here and black on the top, the light jackets. They were made famous because they were so lightweight, but the bag was in the pocket. You could fold the whole jacket up into the bag and stuff like that. That's like, so they've been doing jackets that kind of fold up into bags and stuff like that for years. That's one side of it. And then if you go to any type of airport, they sell pillows that unzip and open up into blankets, right? And they have snaps and stuff. So she kind of took like 2 designs and combined it into one because theoretically the singular of the design had already been out there, right? Because like I said, not only does North Face do it, you know, Ralph Lauren does it, Tommy Hill, they've been doing the puffer jacket. That's kind of what made the puffer jacket, the lightweight puffer jacket, so famous. The fact that it folded up and you could put it in this little bag and kind of tote it with you and stuff like that. And like I said, for anybody that's ever traveled, the neck pillow, instead of going around your neck, it's just a square, right? But it unzips just in case you need it to be a blanket, right? So those have been around for quite some time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's the differentiation.
That's what I said. See, that's what I said, right? So that's why, again, like, and again, we're talking a company like North Face that's been around since, you understand what I'm saying? And I don't know how old you are, Ashley, but those puffer jackets came out when I was in high school, and let's just call that 95. You understand what I'm saying? 95. That design was out. So you understand what I'm saying? So think about a company like North Face. They probably put in for that patent God knows how long before they brought that to market. So again, these designs and these patents have been around at least 20 something years before you actually started your company. So you see what I'm saying? That research that she talked about was very important, because if she missed just one thing, and if there was one thing that showed too much overlap, she could waste her money, because once you apply for it, if it gets rejected, you don't get a refund.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
And then you have to pay your lawyer to just respond to the denial, you know, which is more money, and you know they charge by the hour. And the great differentiator between like our product is every other product, they just want you to buy more and buy more and buy more and buy something else. But that's why like our tagline is the only jacket you'll ever need, because you don't need to buy a neck pillow and put it in a bag and then, you know, have to keep buying more product. We build this product for it to be the only product that you need, which is a differentiator between other companies because they just want you to buy more and more and more of their stuff.
Yeah.
But I think we have enough stuff. We need things that provide true value.
Message.
I love that.
And speaking of that, like I know it's still early in the business, right? But have you discussed with other brands like a licensing type of deal or that type of structure where you are doing a collab with like a Polo or some of the brands you mentioned? You know what I'm saying? Has that come across so far?
So, that's the one thing about like the business journey, right? When you start off, you're like, oh, hey, I want to go after Nike. I want to go after North Face.
Facts.
And then I will say, my thought process has changed a little bit on it, to where, we did a collab. And I think we got burned a little bit in that collab. And I think that taught me kind of what some of my advisors have told me, where they've said, you know what you need to do? Like your product is amazing. Everything you're doing is amazing. Everything you create is amazing, but you need to continue to build your brand. And
we preach that.
Yeah.
I have hated that because I'm like, listen, I'm a developer. I'm a builder. I don't want to build the brand, but I have learned like you have to build the brand because that's when people recognize, oh, I know what that is. Oh, I know what that is. And so we've gotten our footing out there. Basically whenever we've had like CNN review our jacket, and when people saw it, they're like, oh my God, this belongs to 1920. Did you guys give them credit? But all of our followers start coming in, and that's what you need before you go to like a Nike or a North Face, because if you don't, people will just be like, oh my gosh, look what North Face came out with. This is amazing. They'll never know that 1920 is the one that developed this very innovative product. But yeah, it's definitely on the roadmap. I think we just need to continue to build out that brand story and come out with the rest of the products.
You got almost 200,000 followers just on Instagram. You building brand like a mother. What we talking about? What the hell? Let me get some followers.
To piggyback on that, also, as you're creating, ladies and gentlemen, when you're becoming an entrepreneur, 99% of the time you are funding this thing out your own pocket, right? If you don't have a VC helping to fund you or some type of bank giving you some type of small loan, you're funding this thing out your pocket. So just think about how much money and time and resources that you've already put into this product, right? And then you're searching for a collaboration. And if your brand is not on the map, then yes, you might get a collaboration, but at what level and at what cost, right? Who benefits from the collaboration more now?
Who has the bigger brand?
Who has the bigger brand? And if it's the North Face or Tommy Hilfiger, then they're going to say, listen, you're going to benefit from us putting our name and our tag on this thing, and we're going to 10x your company just by collaborating with you. So guess what? These are the terms and the conditions of what we want the deal to look like. And not to say that you have to accept it, but you're going to be more inclined to accept it because you're at a less position of negotiating because your power is not built now. Once your power is built, then you flip it. Then you're like, listen, you want to deal with 1920? These are the terms and the conditions, or you could take it or leave it. You understand what I'm saying? So it's a big difference in how that looks economically of how that deal is written out and who it benefits. So,
And also when you say building a brand, right? Do you mean it for yourself as the founder, or do you mean the brand story? Because those are two things that both need to be built. But which one is taking precedence right now?
I would say the brand story. For sure. I think more people have wanted to know my brand, which I would say is tough, right? Because I still work. I don't mix the two. I keep them very separate. You know what I mean? So much so that people are, some people at work, they still don't even know I have a brand. I just, I'll wear the jackets to work and stuff, but I don't talk about it. But obviously, like, we've started going viral. Now I have some people coming up to me at work. Oh my God, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? Like, are you gonna quit? Are you gonna, and I don't ever want them to think that, because, just like what you all reference, this is very expensive. People sit and tell you, oh, you can start a business with $500. Not if you're trying to scale. Not if you're trying to get it to a point where you're not so deep in it every day that it literally becomes every part of your life. $500 is not enough. If $500 is a sample. you know? So if you're really trying to scale a business, you have to have money. I'll tell you, I've invested $150,000 into this business to get it off the ground. And we've done well, right? But this is a thing that you just have to keep feeding and keep feeding. And when you're so new like us, you do have the stories and you had the success, but you don't have the time in to get these SBA loans and, you know, sometimes VC money.
Yeah.
So it is tough.
Yeah, that's you preaching. So there's a lot. Man. And also, I wanted to know, because I do want to ask you some more branding questions and how you built that. I damn sure want to ask you, why are you still there? Like, I get it. You know what I'm saying? Because I know part of you as an entrepreneur wants to go all the way in, but you still got to fund it, things like that. So, but like, is there one thing that's what it is to keep you from jumping off the ledge? Right? You got to. I think for me as an entrepreneur, I just feel like you have to. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? At some point, you have to give it your all. I'm not saying that you aren't, but you know what I mean.
I would say I'm very risk averse, right? I think you have to look at it. I don't take any salary from the business right now. I think that allows me to think more clear and more strategic about what I'm doing, right? I think a lot of people, they get in there, they're all in, they're like, and you're taking from the business. How are you going to continue to grow it if you're also feeding yourself to, yes, you can live a very minimal lifestyle, maybe move back home. That is never an option for me. But I think that me working allows me to just be more strategic, not taking from the business, right? Being so new in the game. I mean, how much do you think most CEOs pay themselves? I don't think they're going to pay themselves $40,000. You might as well just donate that money, because that's not going to help if you're going to pay yourself $40,000. A lot of CEOs, they want to pay themselves $120, $130, $170, $180,000 plus dollars, you know? For me, it's easier to keep my job and just work almost 24 hours in a day than taking now. But I think, like, you know, once our brand crossover our sales thresholds that we're looking to meet, that's maybe when I'll consider. But yeah.
Message. All right, that was real. It's real. When you're real, you're real. And where did you come from? Where did you come up with the name 1920?
Yeah, so a lot of people ask, they're like, are you Greek affiliated? Are you a Zeta? I'm like, no, I was never that cool. But it actually comes from the Great Gatsby era, where fashion actually meant something. I think today, in today's society, everything is just, oh, what can I get for $2? You know, cheap type of things. And also too, a lot of brands are very safe with what they do, right? They have a very specific color palette that they do, and they will not venture outside of that. But if you look at our puffer jackets, like, we have a video right now of a puffer jacket that people are begging us to bring back that is literally a purple cheetah puffer jacket with a lime green inside. And it has 5 million views, and people want me to restock it in the summer, you know? So we've been able to take a step out and do more innovative, bold things that speak to people's personalities, which if you look back in the 1920s, you could look at colors and designs and tell people's personality just from those things.
Yeah, so you was asking about it, Jarrett, you know. Now that she's described it and everything, we're gonna go up and just throw up a picture. Ladies,
throw it up there.
This is, you know what I mean? An example of one of the colors and, you know, what the jacket looks like, and one of their advertisements. This is actually, you know, listed on their website. So when you go to the 1920 website, when they show you the different colors and things of that nature, this is actually a color option that's available at the moment. You know what I mean? So this is what you could be expecting to look for when you research this thing and you're thinking about purchasing one. You know? Yeah, absolutely.
Damn, I had a next question too.
Oh, I'm about to say, yeah, I thought
lost it. I thought he lost that motherfucker too. I was rolling too. I was about to go crazy.
You know, well, let me jump in while you think about it. You know, I like the fact that you are not afraid to venture out. One of my little alter egos is called Pastel Chatty. You know what I mean? Like I got on black right now, but if anybody that knows me, I very, very rarely wear black. Like I absolutely don't buy black clothing. I like color because I believe that color represents personality, right? And I do not, because my personality is so vivid and so alive, I don't want to walk in the room and, you know, when I walk in, I want like the Gatsby era, right? When you walked in, you made a statement. So let's talk about the Gatsby era, right? People were not afraid. It was almost like the Met Gala of every day. And that's the best way to really describe the Gatsby era. It's like the Met Gala every single day. Like when you walked in, it was a statement. It was like, yeah, bet you ain't got this and bet you ain't wearing it like this. And then not only was it the clothing, it was the accessories, right, to the clothing that brought everything together, right? But again, everything was just so many vivid colors and different textures and designs. So, you know, congratulations that you are not afraid to venture out and do that. But I'm gonna say something right now. I don't care how nobody take it. I'm tired. All you fucking brands coming out with all these colors for females. And then when it come to guys, we get the browns, the blues, the black, the boring shit. We get all
brown.
I like lime green. You know what I'm saying? I like soft pink. You know what I'm saying? I like blue. You know, give us some fucking colors too, man. This is bullshit. Bullshit.
And before you said it too, and I actually thought of it too, because I do want to get to the social media shit. No, because it's the second time you mentioned it, and you put it on your website. You was like, just now, you was like the Greek. You was like, I wish I was that cool. And then on your website it says I'm the awkward one that wasn't fitting in. Like tell us about that, because like you building this business and having the courage to do that is anti that. Is the complete opposite of that. Building your business is one of the coolest shits ever. Like, so how? Like, I'm trying to get the correlation. Why do you say that?
Right.
No, so I mean, growing up, right, I definitely got bullied a lot. I would say myself and my husband, we actually, if it wasn't for, like, they have the high school version of ROTC. It's called JROTC.
Yeah.
That's where we met. But we were just the little nerdy kids who actually brought backpacks to school. People were like, why the hell are you bringing a backpack to school? I'm like, is this not school? I have also, you know, my whole life gotten made fun of for like the way I talk. You know, people would always be like, hey, why do you sound like that? You know, why are you trying to talk white? You know, so a lot of those different things, as well as I always felt like, which was very weird, growing up, that I was never accepted like by the community. I even felt that in the military too. So I think
hated it.
That's a powerful statement. You said you never felt like you was accepted in the community.
Yeah, we can't rush past.
You gotta explain that to us, because this is all for the community.
Hold on. Before we dive into that, we got to give a little bit of background. What is your ethnicity? What do you identify as culturally? That we have to start with that first, so that we can understand what your culture is and what your ethnicity is, and then what you identify as. Can you give us some background on that?
Yeah, most definitely. The joke is I made myself a shirt that says I am black mixed with black, right? So I'm 100% black, black mom, black dad, just very black. So, but
I keeps it love. Black y'all, and I'm black y'all, and I'm blacker than black.
You get 3 seconds. You get 3 seconds. You get 3 seconds on it. Since you said it, we're going to go ahead and put it up there for you. We're going to put it up. Put your fist up one time. I need to see the fist, Angie. Come on, I need to see the fist. All right, there it is. Here's the fist. Power to the people.
So, you know, I felt like part of me met like a diversity kick in certain spaces, right? I'm sure you understand that. But then part of me, the community just is like, you know, she talks like this. She thinks she's better than us. My undergrad, I went to like what they call a PWI, which is a primarily white institute. I went to Auburn University. And then military too, not especially in the officer space, there's not a lot of black officers. So just never felt accepted, always made fun of, from everything from the way that I dressed to the music that I liked to the colors that I liked. So I just always found it to be like amazing now to see the support and like see all of the community come out and support me. And I have felt that especially from New York, right? I am, you know, I lived in Atlanta for like 10 years. Atlanta's a very interesting place. But we have done kind of our pop-ups. We've done 2 pop-ups in New York, and I was just amazed at people that just come out and they're like, we want to support you. And I'm just like, this is wow, like this is amazing, you know, because what I felt is like this genuine sense of support from the Black community in New York, which I mean, people might be mad, but it doesn't matter. People don't like me anyway. In Atlanta, I don't feel that. It's a different type of Black support is what I would say.
Okay.
You know, and where in New York you getting the most love too? I was just gonna say.
Yeah.
Like where'd you do
Brooklyn.
the pop-ups? We pop. Oh,
I mean, Brooklyn is where we get the most love, right? But the
Okay.
pop-ups have actually been like on the Lower East Side. So the two that we did, now this year everybody's like, oh my gosh, you need to come to Harlem. Oh my gosh, you need to come to Brooklyn. So next year we're definitely gonna work to like make that happen. But like about 85 to 90% of our customers are in Brooklyn. And like that's just where we see the most support. Although we've like shipped all over the world, it's just every single time Brooklyn, New York, New York, New York. So yeah,
we get a
just
lot of
love
love
that.
in Brooklyn, and we know a lot of women in Brooklyn, and we definitely will pop up. We would definitely help. You know what I mean? Help get the word out.
No, it's important that she shared with us that she felt like she wasn't accepted as a child.
Yeah.
And we can speak, not only me, but we can speak on that as a culture. You know, as a culture, when something is different, as children, we just make fun of it because it's just miseducation. It's just the lack of knowledge and understanding and compassion to say, but why is she different? You understand?
Facts.
It was just, oh, you're different. You're not a part of the cool kids crew. You know, this is our clique. You're not a part of the norm, right? You're considered a deviant. So we're just going to make fun of you. But see, now you're getting the support from grown-ups. See, it's a big difference.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? You're getting this again as children. We ain't buying nothing anyway. We ain't fucking because we just like shit because everybody else likes shit. But you know, the making fun, and I'm gonna tell you this, right? And I have no problem saying this, right? In our culture, right? We made fun of the smartest people, and it's the most ignorant thing that we've ever done because we didn't realize that those smart motherfuckers gonna be the ones that you end up working for later down in life.
Facts.
You understand what I'm saying? The guys with the pocket protectors and the nerdy one. We used to do that shit. Motherfucker, why your book bag so fucking?
JROTC. All that. My girl was JROTC.
Yeah, because it's not. It's almost like taboo. It's not cool to be smart in a lot of our urban cultures, right? And this is what we're trying to change right now. And this is why, as a culture, we are so far behind education-wise and business-wise and things of that nature, because we spend so much time clowning each other and making fun of each other instead of supporting each other and working with each other, that by the time we fucking realize what we've done, we're 10 steps behind already. You understand?
I think the tide is changing a little bit, though. I think because I think, like you said, as an adult, right, with the Black community, we respect work. We respect the people that are willing to put in the work, to put in the resources, put in the research, do all of that stuff, right? Which for you to get that up and running, and guess what? They see themselves in you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, I could have thought of that, but she actually did it and all that. Like, that's dope, right? Versus back in the day, like you said, you ain't understand that shit, but you knew what path you was on.
Look why you respect it, because at this point, you've had 20 years of life experience. 20 years, 30 years of life experience, and now you've experienced so much that you like, we got to back her. You understand what I'm saying? As a child, what experiences really did do we have as children other than like what's in your immediate circle? You know what I mean? So it is a big difference. I agree with you. I do believe the tide is changing, and I'm finally.
That shit. Shit. If
finally, right? Finally, right? So. And so that's why, and look, I'm glad that you're getting the support that you're getting. This is why we created this platform, to help support people like you in general, right? Because we need to get the word out from our culture, right? We can't rely on the other people to get the word out. The same way we keep reporting all this negative shit and we keep sharing all this negative shit in a meme, right? Somebody sees a meme and all these Diddy memes, them shits are going viral because it's funny, laughy, jokey, but we need to make 1920 go viral, right? We need to support that. And we, in the same way we send out all these memes and all these laughy, jokey shits, when we see a dope sister or a dope brother come out with a design or something that's like, wow, that's going to change the culture, we need to send that out and make that go viral also. You understand what I'm saying?
Matter of fact, speaking of that, though, what kind of support have you gotten from Black media? You said CNN, you said some other publications. What Black media? Has the Shade Room, any of those big major Black publications supported you, Essence?
No, not at all. As a matter of fact, I'm still seeing those same barriers that I faced in high school, like that. Just not, I don't know if it's this perception of not being Black enough, but like even some funding things, haven't got the funding things, funding competitions. I'm sure y'all are familiar with the Black Ambition prize.
I'm not.
It's
I haven't heard.
it's
of
a big
heard
thing. It's like it's through Pharrell, and he gives away like
Okay.
$1 million every year.
Okay.
Um,
He made the pledge. I know. Recently, he made the pledge to give away a certain amount of money by a certain year, something like that. So, okay, that makes sense then.
have applied for that a couple times, haven't gotten it.
Okay.
A couple black grants. Have reached out to the Shade Room, haven't gotten them. So it's tough.
I just got a question we would like you to be, as open and honest as possible, because we're real, real on this show. How does it make you feel when you get rejected from these places and from these organizations, right? That's our culture. Our culture. How does that make you feel? And have you ever had this face?
all facts. Always.
Did you ever break down like what the fuck is going on with you motherfuckers? Like, how does it make you feel when the support doesn't happen? How does that make you feel?
Yeah, sadly, it reaffirms like almost what I've ingrained in myself is that, like from other people's eyes, I'm not black enough, right? I meet the diversity tick for like a lot of different things. Maybe you're like, hey, we need like 3 blacks, 2 Hispanics, a couple of Asians. I'm able to meet that, right? But then when it comes to like fully 100%, the culture I just don't get it. And I think sometimes what it also reaffirms is like we as a community are our biggest barrier to entry, right?
Facts.
When we have the opportunity to put something up there that is like something, you know what I mean? It seems like we pick some of the most questionable things to kind of get behind, where it's like if we're trying to compete with these other races, and I'm not saying I'm the shit and blah blah blah, but I'm just saying like let's find something that is different 100%, that we can say, hey, this has never been done before, this cannot be touched by anybody else, versus hey, I'm gonna put up a hoodie company, or hey, I'm gonna put up so that's kind of what it reaffirms. But my military background lets me know that that's not a reason to quit and throw in the towel, right? That's a reason to keep going,
But they haven't. Is it because they haven't reached out, or have you reached out to them and they just haven't said anything? Because if you're getting these looks right on these major publications, right, the CNNs, all those other stuff, right, because you're following right there. Your following is 188,000 just on Instagram. I haven't checked the other channels. That's a major following right there, right? So what is it, right? Is they're just not rocking with it? Because once you even show them an email with CNN, like they're gonna jump on the bandwagon, right? Their PR team is gonna jump all over that shit.
100%. And the thing is, I think they're more preoccupied with just other things that to me should not be a priority. Gotcha. Right? But I mean, our highest viewed video was like one of my first ones. My sister used to help me do my marketing, and it was before we even really planned on launching. I was like, I don't even know if this whole thing is going to work out. But she posted a video on a rock in Times Square transforming the jacket. That video has 66 million views, right? Ooh. And on one video. And then throughout
67 million on one video. Shout out to
Sis. And so I think in the past 30 days, I mean, I've had several videos that have hit several millions, right? So I don't know what these publications are doing. I don't know what they're looking at. Even the CNN video did so well. They're like, hey, let's talk about more videos, right? Like pretty much the way this product works is I can put it in the hands of anybody with any sort of decent platform, and I can pretty much guarantee it's going to go viral, right? On the CNN video, they did 2.5 million views over the course of like 5 days. The jacket that they posted, it completely sold out, So another brand that we collaborated with, they posted the jacket. They got more views than they've ever gotten on any of their videos, and that brand was on Shark Tank. So
come on, Ashley, though. Here's the thing. Come on, Ashley. Let's talk We your brothers, you know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying?
You out there, you know what I'm saying? Got the wash and say your shit is nice. You got the pretty face, you know. If you're not black enough, you know, sometimes you got to change it up, man. When you go to these meetings and they talking about you not black enough, you need to walk in there like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's up, baby? You know what I mean? Yeah, what's up, baby? You know what I mean? Is this black enough for you, baby? Come on, Ashley, sometimes you gotta switch it up on them, you know what I'm saying? Walking there with the lipstick all crazy and the hair looking all crazy.
You're stupid.
Give him a Shanae, a Wanda.
Shit, because you know, I'm thinking as you say that shit too. That's a lot of goddamn views. And how do you prepare for that, right? You can't prepare to go viral, and you can't prepare for the actions after the virality, right?
100%.
So how do you, as a business, especially doing clothing, you have to have shit in stock, things like that. Like, how do you prepare for that? Because I'm like 67 million. That attribution had to go crazy. You had to, sell out, and we sold out. Like, what was that process?
Even 1% converssion rate, you sell out immediately.
Absolutely,
100%, 100%. And because we fund our own growth, we're always out of stock. We're always out of stock, and we're always behind. If you get on the website right now, there's pretty much nothing. I have like an inbox full of DMs every day that I answer. Hey, where's this? When are you going to restock? Hey, where's this? Where are you going to restock? We move as fast as we can, but to be honest, because this product is also complex and it's expensive, like, not to down anybody, but it's not a hoodie. Like, my unit price is not like $10 and I'm selling the hoodie for $100. Like, that's not how it works, so because my production time is about 60 days. So when I sell out, it's like, oh man, the season might be over by the time I'm able to restock these units. So that's kind of the issue.
I like it though. I like it. You know why I like it? Because now you have the ability to create scarcity. And now scarcity in the mind of our culture is exclusivity, right? Now people are going to die for it. And now you can definitely control your pricing on this unit, because it's like everybody ain't got one of these, right? They're not, like you said, they're not bulk made, they're not cheaply made and things of that nature, right? And now I think it gives you the ability to really control the marketplace, where you can now venture out completely and say, okay, like Ralph Lauren, right? You can say this is our standard line, and you can come out with a couple colors that's like your standard restock for the seasons, and then you can turn around and give them these exclusive pieces in these different textures and color tones and stuff like that, and say, now here's an exclusive piece that's going to be 2024 only. Like, this will not be repeated in 2025, and I think you can create a whole new market with that. You know what I mean? What you think, Jared?
But now I'm saying one of the biggest on the flip side, bro. Yes, but also what do you say all the time on the show, bro? We always follow the shiny new thing, right? When you're building a brand, when you're building a community like that, it's essential for you to have it, because at the end of the day, it's customer experience over everything, right? If I come to your shop, I saw your story on CNN, I want that motherfucking brand. I wanted to get it for wifey, right? And I see it sold out. I may or may not come. Chances are I'm not coming back.
I mean, but that's a risk you could take. But let me flip it to you like this.
Okay.
The perfect example right now is Hayes, shut up. I'm gonna tell you before you even say some shit, because Hayes always talking about my age. Hayes, shut up. Listen, when I was in high school and Jordans came out, it was one or two colorways, and that was it. You understand what I'm saying? It was one or two colorways, maybe. If you were absolutely lucky, it was three, and the colorways took months to come out. Months, not like now. See, all the reprints now, you're flooded with so many colorways that it's just like, sometimes you question, like, is those even real or not? Because there's so many colorways, they come out so rapidly. But back in the day, that's how they controlled the price point, right? Perfect example, when the first phone posit came out, the Penny Hardaway, it was in electric blue, the Orlando colors, right? Which at that time, it was almost no color. Remember, fashion follows the color mantra of what they decide that color is for the year, and et cetera, right? It was almost impossible to find something to match those fucking sneakers other than a jersey, right? But then that was one of the first sneakers that broke the $200 marker, right? Now, Patrick Ewing's came out too, but they was in navy blue. Those was $100. $115, but them pennies was $199. You understand? It was like one of the first sneakers to break 200, and it's still sold out. You understand?
But once again, they have the funding to scale. They have that. And what she said earlier.
But how are you scaling if the product is still selling out? So take example.
They had brand built already. Now, if I'm coming in as a new customer, I don't know your story. I don't know your story. I'm getting Jordans because everybody named motherfucking mama got the pair of Jordans on. Everybody named mama got the electric blues on. It's a different conversation, right? As a small entrepreneur, as a business owner, you can't say that because every sale counts. Every visit matters to that goddamn website. It's different. Apples. It is, bro. But they were different places in their business.
No, I understand that, but still, when you're building a brand, you have to decide. We talk about we're building our brand, right?
Yeah,
impact over metrics, right? What do we say all the time? The impact over the metrics. So yes, she could increase production and flood the market very quickly.
Okay.
But maybe possibly cheapen the brand because now she has to, cut a corner something to get these things pumped out. So now what happened? The thing with products and services is word of mouth spreads so rapidly. Negatively is like lightning. So now if her process is 60 days and you can't get it, but when you get it, like she said, you never need another one, right? Now that brand stability is super dope, right? You're like, yo, I had this jacket for 3, 4, 5, like Vansons, right? We talk about that Vansons from 96 that the leather still don't, the arms don't even fold down. That's a $3,000 jacket though, right? So it's the same thing. But now if she says every sale matters and she tries to rush production before she's ready or she's able and one person or two people get a bad jacket, that word of mouth now can tank her company.
Yeah, but I don't think you'd be rushing production, right? You'd have the resources to still get it done within the 60-day marker. You're just getting more of that.
No,
right?
but
right?
Again,
wait, what did you say?
Good.
Yeah. So I mean, that's what it would be, right? I wouldn't want to cut the time. I think what's happening now is when we are able to order, we're not able to order enough.
Gotcha.
So inevitably it'll sell out, right? Like for the fall, we stand a chance to make just in 4 or 5 months of the year, $1 million plus. One thing about metrics is, in the past 30.
Okay. No, damn well you wasn't going to get away from the horn on that shit.
Yeah, $1 million plus, you know what I'm saying? And just, when it sells out, and I know that I sold $1 million when I come out with it next time.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
Today's price. We did $1 million. We was on CNN.
Yeah, come past that.
Yeah, you can't get this in Walmart.
Yeah, literally. And I'll tell you so, but sometimes it's a little bit discouraging, right? Because the potential, but you're not able to maximize on that potential. Past 30 days, our website has had 70,000 sessions.
See?
We have nothing for those people.
Right.
Like imagine if there was something on there for those 70,000 people. They're coming to the website. That's already the hardest part. And the one thing that I have not mentioned throughout all of this is we don't run any ads. We run 0 ads. None. We've never run any.
70,000 organic. And
organic.
It hurt me to hear it.
Think about it. That's what the premise of Shark Tank is. Think about it. You have a product. What's one of the first things that any shark asks you? How many units have you sold already? Is that not one of it's the standard question, right? Because before they give you a number or match the number of what you want for equity versus capital investment, they want to know how many you've sold already. But why do 99% of the people go to Shark Tank? Because now they have their market, their product is moving, but the demand is bigger than what they're able to manufacture in the moment. So now they might need the extra resources to get in contact with a bigger facility. Because here, look, Ashley, just so you know, we also have a clothing line. We have a clothing line for our podcast. I've also designed other clothing lines, and I've been doing this clothing thing for a long time, right? So I understand about fabrics, getting in contact, with manufacturers. I understand that process all the way through, right? One of the things that the audience needs to understand is when you're dealing with these manufacturers, especially on a limited edition product like what yours is, you have to, for them to do it for a certain number and at a certain time, you have to order a certain number.
MOQ, yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? That's right. And you have a minimum order amount and you have a maximum order amount where they tell you like we can only produce this amount in this amount of time. So that's what I was saying to you, Cuzzo. Like a lot of these factories tell you like you have a minimum amount, but this is the maximum that we
can order for. Right.
So, right, you understand? So, and Kanye, remember, Kanye talked about the same thing briefly, when he said we don't have access to the bigger factories, we don't have access to the bigger textile mills, and that's the gatekeeping that they do to hold us down, right? They don't give you access to the bigger factories and the bigger textile mills to be able to scale your business at a more rapid pace, and that's their way of kind of keeping you at bay. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, absolutely.
But then, all right, then a good question, and I think from there, you got 70,000 people coming to the website. How do you still engage with those 70,000? Like, do you have a community? Are you collecting their emails? How are you building that community active so when you do have product there, they get that notification and you stay top of mind?
Right. Yeah, so anything that's sold out, they can put notify me. We also collect email addresses. Our email list is about 50,000.
Right. Hold on, this is gonna be a big ass number. That's a big ass number.
I like it.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah,
but we don't spam them with emails, right? Because 9 times out of 10, by the time we get a restock, everybody kind of already knows about it from social media, and then people will be like, it's already sold out. But we do email them when we have drops or like if we do a sale or something like that. But we do not spam them like a lot of other companies do, if that makes sense.
I like it.
It'd be really cool.
Damn it. That's Spice. Hold on. For the other, you cannot get Ashley. All right, she's on our show. She's not coming to your show. You understand? And we just told you yesterday's price is not today's price. So stop calling. More than the title's not plugging you. You got to do your own work, man. These other podcasts, man, killing me, man.
Damn. So you know what be as you saying that too, is there a way for you to check, like, I wish there was, I'm not sure, so I'm curious if you have something like this, if they could say what their product customer experience was like, they say it was sold out, do you do something special for that customer that tried to get something and it was sold out, like maybe them give them exclusive access to something? Like, is it something like that available when it comes to e-commerce?
A lot of other companies, they do have that where like they have a VIP list and like they'll get first access. But the problem is when we have a drop, it is such a limited drop. It is such a limited drop that it's just kind of, it's almost a tease at this point. And then notoriously too, like it's tough, right? Because I'm pretty bold with fashion points, but you're in a sweet spot where like you're very close to the business, so you can control like, hey, we're gonna do these prints, we're gonna do these styles, but it's a blessing and a curse because you can only do so many. Sometimes as a business owner, I make the wrong decision. I go with one colorway, but then I show them online. But see, that gap between showing them online and doing production is so close. You can't, like, we're not print on demand.
The feedback. So, it's the feedback.
9 times out of 10, I get the feedback too late to be able to put it in production.
Adjustments,
right.
But that's a decision, Ashley, because guess what? As an artist, and this is what brands do, and you as an artist, you're creating technically for yourself, and it's a niche business anyway. Everybody, it doesn't matter what color you come out with, doesn't matter what print, there's gonna be people that love it, and there's gonna be people that don't like it. So you as the designer or head designer or whatever, title you give yourself with control over it, you just got to make an executive decision sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Just
roll the dice with it and be like, and it kind of, the reason that you have a limited edition drop kind of buffers you anyway, because now you can minimize your losses.
Exactly.
If this one colorway didn't do so well and you might have to put it on sale, it's okay because you only ordered 1,000 units versus 10,000 units. You understand what I'm saying?
Well, I think that's a good segue. You just talked about the lessons. What was a good story of a good gamble you made and a good decision for the business? And what was one that you said, hell no, I'm not doing that shit again? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. Good gamble. I would say the pop-ups have been good gambles, especially the first year. First year we were on Bond Street in New York, right across from Drake's store, OBO. And we had a line wrapped around. Like that day there was a Jordans drop. People were in line for the Jordans drop and people were in line for our coats. We completely sold out. We didn't have anything left. So that was great. One.
Love that shit.
This past one as well, we did that one too. That one went great. I would like to do more. People keep saying, "Hey, come to the DMV. Hey, come to Chicago." So we would love to do like a little tour up there. The biggest lesson I learned. How much can I talk about it?
You could be as real as
let
you
me
want.
let me dial. I know. Let me dial it up to not be messy. Let me dial it up.
Oh no, hold on.
keeps
Let me
it
get the
real.
bell. We're about to be messy though. Hold on. Third period.
Hold on.
About to throw
Hold
food.
Oh,
On the table. Talk about it. Let's get
Because it's a learning experience,
learning
right?
experience.
You know, it don't have to be messy. You know what I'm saying? But it's just it's something that you learn as an entrepreneur that somebody may go through, and if you can prevent that, that's what this is for.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. I'll say collaborations, and I got some warnings from some people.
Okay.
That's one thing. I need to listen, more. But anyway, so I got some warnings from some people that say, collaborations are great in theory, but in all reality, they're just very tough, right? And so what I'll say is I'm trying moving forward to not make decisions out of desperation, if that makes sense, right? So hey, I really want to do this. I want to make it work. But even though it literally makes no sense whatsoever, right? But because, I still want to do it. It makes no sense. Even when you look back at it, it makes no sense. And, just kind of getting muscled and strong arm into a position that was not great for the brand. It really kind of, it could have been detrimental to the brand, right? So I would say just like from a collaboration standpoint, you have to do stuff that makes sense. And even if you're saying no to it, it doesn't mean like, hey, this is going to be the end of the end of the end. It just means this is not the door you need to go through. Like, let's find another way to do something else, right? That would be one of the biggest lessons that I learned. It's just kind of doing a collaboration.
What makes it tough with the collaboration? Like if you're working with a Nike, I could imagine there's a lot of red tape, there's a lot of stuff, the leverage, the business deals, stuff like that. But like, was it a small brand? Was it a big brand? I'm just curious. You don't tell us the brand.
Yeah.
So it made it tough.
Nike, I think, would be easier. You want to know why? They've been around for a long time. So it's going to be cut and dry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is how it goes. Take it or leave it. Right.
Gotcha,
that I can deal with. But when you're with a brand who is smaller, sometimes that brand will try to sun you. Sometimes that brand will try to sun you, and they'll be like, "Oh, we're the bigger brand." And then it's like, excuse me, I just gained 30,000 followers in 10 days. Yeah. So who's, and we don't run ads. We don't have to run a single ad, and I can sell out of my line.
Yeah. But that's a good question.
Almost every brand is smaller than Nike. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I use Nike as an example. They're like number one. Like almost every brand is smaller than Nike.
But I was going with you. That's a great question. I'm curious too, like how y'all both feel about this, right? Yeah. So boom, I've got 100,000 followers over here. Yeah. They don't have the followers I have, but they make more revenue, right? Who has the brand power in that position?
It depends.
Say it again.
So, for instance, like if you got 100,000 followers, right? Okay. I want to do a collaboration with you. I've got the followers, I've got the distribution, I got the eyeballs, the impressions, right? But you maybe have 5,000 followers, right? But you actually generate more revenue. Maybe you have a customer that spends more, whatever, right? Who has the brand power, the leverage, and negotiation?
It's a good question.
I believe the one with more followers, because at the end of the day, the game is optics. Right? Like, who cares about revenue? Banks care about revenue. Investors care about revenue. But banks and investors, they're not your customer. They're not buying the product, right? But if I go to a website, I'm like, oh my God, they got all these followers, blah, blah. It's just like celebrities. They'll stand up this bullshit brand, and then people will just buy it because, oh my gosh, they're celebrities. They're famous. I'm going to buy it. They don't question the quality. The prices are always crazy. So that's why it's like, followers, sometimes even some other brands won't even talk to you if you don't even have a true following. Yeah.
Message.
Well, double message again.
Double message. I love it. As a double message. So we're talking about, and I love these business talks because, again, this is what we need to understand as a culture, that this shit is not cut and dry. It's not copy paste. This is not 1, 2, 3 success, right? There's a lot that goes into making a brand successful. And for anybody listening to our audio and our video listeners, just understand, right? Ashley, us, every company has made decisions that they have regretted later. You
Absolutely.
understand? Because hindsight is always 2020. There's not a company out right now that has deals that they've done with 100% success rate. Be clear. Nike has deals that they're like, we wish we'd have never did that collaboration. Things like, you understand? It's just they're not going to tell it to you. See, that's why this is so important, because you see, you have a brand that says we have brand power and we're selling out and things of that nature, but we're going to tell you the real story as, listen, we make mistakes and this is what these mistakes look like. Now it's up to you guys to take this information, and now when you're doing your due diligence and your research, and use that so that hopefully you're going to make a mistake anyway, but you don't make the same mistakes, or you don't make it as frequently as us or Ashley or any of these other brands, because we're giving you the information. So that's kind of conversation.
But and to tie it back too, because I agree with. I was going to do the flip side of what Ashley said. I think the person making the more revenue, because if I got 5,000 followers and I'm generating more revenue than the 100,000 followers, guess what? What's going to happen when I get to 10? To 15 to 20,000, right? The brand is going to continue to grow, right? I feel like it's just like you said, the celebrities. Yes, you have that brand, but what are you selling? You may sell out this one time because you lack the quality and you lack the relationship with your customers. It's not going to be sustainable over time.
They won't come back, yeah.
Versus that other brand that's sitting there doing a slow climb, right? Gradually increasing their trajectory, right? So it's a toss up, right? It's just hard. So it's hard to. So I love that question, because like shit, how do you come to the negotiating table, right? How do you leverage your brand?
It's a dope question, and now you have. So let's piggyback off of that. Now I think it's situationally based, right?
Okay.
Look at what Ashley said. If you're looking for VCs, now you have to approach them on what VCs are looking for.
Absolutely.
You understand? So that was a dope question, because now the decision is based on who's your target now, because you can't bring both information to the table, because both information is not good for whoever you're looking to talk to. So if you're looking for VCs or a bank, they want to see revenue, like she said, right?
Absolutely.
So now when you're talking to a bank, you have to show that you have the revenue to back the deal of the loan, or the funding that you need. They don't care about followers, because you can have 100,000 followers and 2 sales. You see what I'm saying? Right now, but if you're leveraging yourself as, let's say now, a brand, content, or something else like that, now you can say, I have 100,000 followers, and the ROI of that beats the 5,000. So I think now that was a great question.
That's real.
I think it's really situationally based on who your target is at the moment.
100%. And then you need to, as a business owner, you have to understand those two sides. And you need to be fluid in them, right? So whether you're doing a proposal, or you shouldn't go to a bank or a VC and be like, look at all my followers. I've gotten this many views. They're going to be like, where are the numbers? Like, what is the profit margin on this? What's your customer acquisition cost? Like, you have to be able to be fluid between those two. But the one additional thing that I'll say that I learned too is just, I tried to do as much research as I possibly could. Nobody talks about collabs. No one. Right. No one talks about collabs. There's nothing online about collabs. There's probably a reason for that. But I will say next time I'll also have a lawyer scrub any collab document that I have before I go into another collab, because that was not great, right? Like, and I could have used my patent lawyer. I don't know why I didn't, but I should have had my patent lawyer look over the agreement. Now, luckily, I didn't sign it away or anything like that. But it's just, when you have a product like mine and you do a collab, you should be charging a royalty fee. You should be charging a royalty fee. You should be charging a licensing fee. Because what else is the purpose of doing that collaboration, right? Like, technically, you're lending your product out for free, right? Because how do the profits work? When you get into the nitty gritty of this, how do the products work? How do the profits work? How does manufacturing work? Right? How do you get those products? If that person is taking whatever they have, how do you get that over to, is my manufacturer going to manufacture? Or am I, well, in my case, 100%, I'm not going to let any other factory make my jackets besides who I say is going to make it. But how do you work all that out? It's a complete mess of a situation. To be honest,
you know why? Because a lot of depending on who you collab with, they might have proprietary machines that make their product. You see what I'm saying, Jarrett? Where they're like, it's like she said, well, I'm not gonna let nobody make it. And they're like, well, listen, it's no way that we're gonna send our stuff to you because you don't have the proprietary means to make it the way we make. You see what I'm saying? Because they have patents not only on their textiles, but their machines and how it's made. So like that's a perfect example of like you really got to do your research on it. I just had a sidebar question, Ashley. You said that you don't do any like advertising and things of that nature, but do you actually do trade shows? Have you ever done like the Magics and stuff like that? And because those are really big, it's not advertising, but it's getting out there, seeing what other companies are doing, right? Other companies are doing, and kind of like introducing your product there. Also, have you ever done any trade shows like Magic or anything like that?
So I'll tell you, when we first started back in 2022, we went to a trade show, but it was the wrong trade show.
Okay.
And we went to a trade show called ASD in Las Vegas. So we went there. I was like, okay, let's just go. Like, I didn't even really plan to like launch the brand. We ended up actually launching the brand a couple months later. But I said, let's just go and see, because I needed a confidence booster of like, okay, is this something people really want? We just wanted to see how people were going to react to the product. People were trying to buy the samples. They were like, I need this tonight. I need this today. Do you have any more of these? How can I get this product? But when we talked to like buyers, there wasn't enough profit in there for us to make wholesale work at that time, because we were not able to do like 10,000 units. And then I'm able to get these units for like $30, and then I can charge them 50 and I can make whatever, so there was not enough room in there to make that wholesale work. But I would say I would like to go back. Like, everyone who was telling me, oh my gosh, you need to go to Magic, you need to go to Coterie in New York. Like, these are the shows that you need to be at. Your quality is sick. Like, the product is amazing. So I would love to do something like that for sure.
I would also say, have you had any, I think you need a good collab. Have you had any good hip hop collabs? Have you had any female rappers, anything wear the product, anything like that?
You know what? They've interacted with our post, and they've liked the jackets. We've even had some of the Love and Hip Hop folks like the stuff. The problem is, like, I don't have the connections. Number one, like, you have to have those connections. But then also too, I probably just need to like put myself out there more, which is like kind of when you asked about branding, is it company branding or is it like my branding? I think that's what I need to do more, to be able to make those connections, to put these things in their hands and say, hey, this is something that we made for you, with you in mind,
All the above, right? Your personal brand is just as important as the actual brand. Like, to give you context, right? That's how we're able to get a lot of our guests and do a lot of things on the show. So like, I was on LinkedIn, I was doing sales, right? So what I was thinking is, why am I calling people to fucking get sales? And how do I call Nike? What number do I call, right? You're never going to get in touch in headquarters, right? So they're on the move. You're not going to get the VP of Nike through a cold call. So what I'm thinking is, all right, let me just build a brand. Let me go downstairs. So I chose LinkedIn as the channel of choice, went downstairs every day, pulled out my phone, started creating content. By the time it started, like between 90 days later, I was going to get lunch in Manhattan. The motherfuckers was like, yo, Jarrett, that's you. Want to take a picture with me? And I'm sitting there on lunch break. Like, you feel me? So like, I'm a top voice and things like that. But we've been able to build the business because of it, right? And when you have that, when motherfuckers just love you for you, they'll buy anything you're selling. So we have a phrase that we use: teach them how to fish, they'll learn you sell fishing poles. You should be documenting this entire journey, sis. You going to work, checking out fucking new textiles, new styles, you drawing this shit, what fiber person you're using, document the entire process. Because then you can sell that too. But then then they get to love you, right? Oh shit, she's going to work. The same way I'm hearing your story, like Cuzzo's hearing your story. It's like, shit, she's super dope. She's doing this, she's doing that. She went through that. We made the mistake. She's keeping it real. Why wouldn't I support that?
Yeah, no, you're right. And you know what, too? Like, I have all the content just because from young, I loved videography. Like, actually, if somebody were to ask me, hey, what's one thing that you would really like to do? I would love to direct a movie, right? I just love videography. So that's how I'm able to do kind of all my own content. I do like all of it, and I film anytime, anywhere, and my product is so easy to market. But I have everything recorded. I think it's just needing to put more time into my personal brand and saying, "Hey, this is how I do these things. This is how you can do them. These are some of the pitfalls of business." Just making time to do that is definitely an area of opportunity that I
Time is
recognize.
definitely a lot, but you can, like you just said, a movie. You could have a branded movie, call it 1920, have a storyline, give us somebody a character and storyline, and then you could just put the product within the storyline.
Yes, yeah, that's
Like it's
true.
so many dope things, but it takes time, effort, investment. It's a lot of shit. Like that would be dope. Like a 1920 series and shit like that's fire.
Yes, yes. No,
Yeah,
I hope one day to have a kind of a documentary, like a BlackBerry documentary. BlackBerry has a documentary out there. McDonald's has one. So I'm hoping that that's what all this heartache and, different things that the business and myself have had to go through. I hope that in the future it can be used to like help other people for
Don't
sure.
even hope you're doing it. You're putting in the work. You got it. You got this. You got this far, right? Like, first of all, to get a patent is difficult. Doing the research, you did, competing with people, making a bet and doing a pop-up shop in another state that you don't know. Like, you came all the way to New York, chose a block, was very strategic, chose OVO right across the street. Like, you're very strategic. You're going to make it happen. Just make sure you take that same strategic nature into content. Same
But
shit.
Bond Street is a cheat code, though. I commend you, but Bond Street is a cheat code. That's like me having a pop-up shop on Fifth Avenue.
Is it?
Not everybody can do that shit. Hell yeah.
I'm saying though, I'm just saying, like, I mean,
That's one of the ones.
The pop-up shop is dope, absolutely. But Bond Street, everybody know down there is all the flagship stores, Fifth Avenue, 59th Street. You open up something out there, it's almost like regular marketing, right? Why do people open up stores, restaurants, car washes where they open up at, right? Because they know it's no different than a gas station popping up on a busy highway. You understand what I'm saying? Like, this is where you should put it, right here. Like, motherfuckers need gas. They keep going. So Bond Street, like she said, right across the street from OVO, down the block from Camper. You know what I mean? A lot of big brands, names is down there and stuff like that. People are coming to spend money, right? Key money. This is the money area, right? People are not coming down here looking for Filene's Basement or Blooming, we call it Burlington. People are coming down here for the real, for the authentic, for the exclusive. So it's a branding, genius marketing of opening it down there, but it's like you're supposed to open it down. You know what I'm saying? Like, what I mean? Don't open it up on Flatbush and Utica.
But if you're able to do that, why not do it more often though, right? Why not like if you're selling out a product, what you said, you're selling out a product, why not do one once a month where it's doing that? Like you have that demand, right? Because it's got to be profitable.
Yeah, and also the logistics of it.
Yeah,
I need to. Yeah, the logistics are a nightmare.
Right.
But I need to get.
How much SKU and all that.
Yeah, I need to get on a coast somewhere. Whether it be LA. I mean, even go back to Atlanta would be great, right? But flying all my inventory from Phoenix to New York and then, getting like the branding and all that stuff set up, I didn't hire people to work the event. What I did is I brought family and friends and like I paid them and got their tickets and stuff, just because that can be a whole nother thing as well. But the logistics of it are definitely tough to figure out. But I would love to do like 2-3 pop-ups a year. And most of the pop-ups that we've done, they've been out of season. So we've done 2 pop-ups. They've been in February. February, like winter is kind of on its way out a little bit. Like New York is still a little bit cold, but like our goal this year is to do a pop-up in October. We want to do a pop-up start of winter. We want to hit it strong. Like I even have some ideas if like I wanted to do one called the primaries, which obviously it's a voting year, right? Yeah. So we wanted to do the primaries and then we wanted the colors to be exclusive to that event. So we would do like, blue, we would do red, we would do the independent party colors like that. And then just kind of generate some buzz around that. But that is our goal, is to be like on time and in season this year for sure.
But see, that's what we're talking about. So now let's talk like education, right? So I'm running a company, and I say I can sell out online. What's my overhead cost for online? The website, just the maintenance of the website, the shipping, the handling, everything is already automated. My overhead is very, very low. So if I'm already selling out, technically, not being funny, but what is the use of a pop-up shop to give some, you understand what I'm saying? Because now I got, like she said, I got to find a place, a commercial spot. I got to see if it's able to be rented, get the commercial license, blah, blah, blah. Licensing in that state. It's a lot. So now you're not wasting, but you're expending a lot more money, right? To do something technically that you're already doing online, which is selling out, right? So now the question is, why are you doing the pop-up shop? So like you said, the primaries, we're doing it for a specific reason to raise voter awareness. But now, again, what's going to bring me to the store when I got to spend technically, right? So if I live upstate, I live an hour and a half away from the city. Why would I go to the store, gas, tolls, waiting in line, and do all of that to pay the exact same price that I could just point and click from the computer? You understand what I'm saying now?
Yeah,
Right.
no, that's true. One thing that we do for the pop-ups is, so pop-ups have special pricing. The pop-ups have special pricing, and they also have special products. Right. So that's kind of what we try to do is like drop ones that like literally, if you see someone wearing that coat, you know that they went to that event, right? I think also too, like we have on our like, you know, near term, like future state goals, we do want to open up like a flagship store in New York. And the reason is because a lot of people are like, why would you want to do that? You know, now that kind of ties you to a place. Two things, right? Like a Zara model, for example, Zara does all their shipping and fulfillment out of the store. They ship from the store. You know what I mean? So also too, you can cut down on like as a new brand, something that we've done. A lot of new brands do not accept returns and they don't accept exchanges. We do. And that's just because we're trying to build customer trust. We're trying to say, you know, hey, if there's an issue, you know, we'll make it right. But this last year, just through the collaboration piece, our sizing got a little bit crazy. It just got off, right? So if you have a physical store, that's why a lot of people also too wanted to come to the pop-up. They wanted to try it on. They wanted to make sure, hey, I'm getting the right size, not, hey, I got to do all this back and forth. We got to ship it back and forth. So, you know, in the future, that's what we would love too. People to come in, try it, take, you know, be able to make sure it's the right fit. And then we can cut down on our exchanges because that also costs a lot of money on the back end.
That makes sense to me, right? So I don't know if you can see like the toys behind me. Like I collect a lot of art toys, Ashley. So just like a model of like what these guys do, like artists like Cause and stuff like that. If they do a pop-up, number one, say they're gonna release something, they say, okay, listen, the pop-up will have first dibs. So we're telling you ahead of time, this is a limited edition piece. And if you want it, it will be in this store primarily, right? Now, if we don't sell out, then we'll release the rest of it.
Yeah.
Right? That's one way you could do it. But also what a lot of them do for exclusivity is they number their product, right? So now if you come out with this limited edition jacket in a certain color, you can say, listen, this is a 1 of 50 and every single one of them are numbered. Issue a nice little certificate of authenticity with the number on it. That helps to hold that jacket's value now. You understand what I'm saying? And also maybe like a signature collection, right? Where you actually like sign the jacket or something like that to show now not only is it a jacket, but it's a collector's piece now. You see what I'm saying? So now, because remember, resale is very big on clothing, period, right? And it's how a lot of clothing holds its value based on the exclusivity of it, and like if it's signed and if it's a signature line. Like Pele used to do that. That was one of the best ways that Pele sold out, right? So a lot of guys you see walking around with Peles, they don't understand that there's different lines of Peles, right? A lot of people have the regular Pele, but you don't have the Soda Club jacket.
Yeah, the Mark Buchanan.
Yeah, the Mark Buchanan, right? So a lot of the ones that we used to buy, we used to go down to like Genesis. You see what I'm saying? An exclusive, like Genesis was almost like a staple pop-up shop. Because you know when you went to Genesis on 59th Street, when you went to Genesis, like when you know us and a lot of rappers like Fab and we were down there for Vansons and stuff like that, they gave you an exclusive way to create your own now. So now maybe that's something you might do, right? I could go down there and get a Vanson, but only at Genesis I could customize my Vanson. You understand? And you can only do it in this store. So now somebody, maybe that can be an option for you, an idea for a pop-up, right? Some of the people that come into your store, allow them the ability to customize their jacket, maybe put their name on it or put a patch on it or something like that, right? Yeah. And I think that, again, because the brand when you know, we love exclusivity. We love to be like, yeah, you got the brown one, but you ain't got this one. You know how our culture do, right? When it comes to that stunting and that front, you ain't got this one. You know what I mean? And I think that also helps to build the brand power for some people to be like, you know, I got an exclusive one. You don't have a one of one. It's a signature piece. People value it more. They treasure it more. And then again, the resale value, it stays high, right? It doesn't become like a bargain product afterwards because it's still an exclusive piece that you can't get. You know what I mean? So those are just some ideas.
Yeah, I was going to ask you. Yes, we speaking of ideas. I don't see any men's clothing up there on 1920.
It's none. I wasn't going to say nothing. I wasn't going to say nothing.
But listen to this though, right? This is a good idea. One thing that you do when it's cold in New York and you got to go to somewhere like the motherfucking gym, right? And you got to put your big ass puffer jacket in that small ass locker, right?
Yeah.
So that could be something when you throw the little joint and you could throw that shit into a gym bag or something like that. You want to go to LA Fitness, you want to go play ball, you got your shit and all that, and you ain't got to have a Nike bag on top of your shit.
Yeah, no, you're right. 100%.
I didn't want to say nothing. I didn't want to say nothing, Jab, because I wanted to be politically correct. You know, that pink windbreaker shit, I like that though. I ain't gonna lie. The pink windbreaker shit is fire. But I was like, ain't no men shit on it. This is some bullshit. I ain't want to say nothing. I want to give a break and not get on the pink windbreaker's fire.
No, I'm saying when you get something, just know. Yeah, I mean, with your motherfuckers.
No, that has been like our constant feedback that we've gotten. And what I need to do, is like shoot more with guys, right? That's number one. Number two, we have a drop coming out into May, which is windbreakers and light jackets. We have like 2 or 3 items in there for men specifically. So I think that they'll love those. I do need to start offering like more colors for sure for men. And then for the fall, we're working on like a backpack version because that's been like some of the feedback that I've gotten. So instead of the tote bag, we do the backpack version. But we're definitely trying to go either more unisex or definitely getting more for the men. It's just tough because not having anybody kind of on the team, you know, that has that expertise is it's a little bit tough.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. So what a lot of brands do is they unisex size their clothing. So that I'm glad you said it because I was going to ask you, like, again, like I like the pink windbreaker joint, you know, and I love, you know, like I said, those vibrant colors. Are your clothes cut specifically for women's measurements? And if so, is it American standard metrics or is it like a Euro cut? Because then, like, you know, if you have the frame, you know, guys can fit it, or is it a unisex? Because I was going to ask you that also, you know.
Yeah, so when we first started, it was more American sizing, but more, you know, male and female specific. But now we're going more unisex. I would say this last drop of puffer jackets, those were more unisex, very oversized. So at the pop-up, we actually had so many men come in and purchase jackets. They got like the crop ones. They got, we have like a crop vintage tiger puffer jacket. So many men came in and got that. They love that. And that was exclusive. So like going into the fall again, like that's definitely the plan, is to continue with that unisex sizing, more of the oversized fit so that we can, you know, cast a wider net.
Well, I will throw this out there, sis. We going to con with me to South of France. It might be a little rainy day out there with a little windbreaker or something.
Oh,
you know
okay.
What I mean? We're gonna need the big wigs. We're gonna
listen. Like I'm telling you right now. You said you got bullied as a kid. I feel like you're bullying the men right now. You see, you falling into the same category as these other brands. You're disrespecting the men out here. We need clothes too, goddammit. We go to the gym. I'm crying right now. I'm taking my sunglasses off for some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? You know, I like a nice thin windbreaker. Like Jarrett said, I go to the gym. I need a multi-function bag. You know, I'm not wearing no tiger print. You can forget that shit. I will venture. Pastel Chatty just, I don't know about all that tiger cheetah print. I might send the wrong signal.
I don't like it.
I don't like it. Hey, when it come to me, you already know.
Homie, don't play that.
Homie, don't play that shit.
I just got one last question, sis, because we always ask this too, sis. Yeah. What was the greatest moment? What was the mama made it moment for your business?
It hasn't happened yet.
Okay,
but it might. So there's talks. I can't.
But being mentioned by CNN, that's not a mama made it moment.
Oh, there's like bigger on the table than CNN.
Oh, as it should be. But shit, I know you was at this
Oh,
point,
okay. Today,
every win's a win. We got to celebrate every win because we be going through the bullshit.
Yeah. Honestly, just having my patents issued, I would say, is bigger than CNN, because CNN is a little bit. I mean, it's great. It's a great opportunity. Do not get me wrong, but they're late to the party, just like the rest of the publications, right? That helped them. I mean, them showing that video, like almost their highest viewed video on their channel to the message. So yeah, but the patents for sure, I'm just very proud of, because it's a lot of work that goes into it, and it lets me know that there's still a future for the business, as long as I am able to continue to secure those, continue to innovate, and move forward for sure. So those to me are made at moments.
I love it.
Got a question that we didn't talk about. And we always like to talk about this topic, and you mentioned it a couple times, but we didn't really touch on it. So I feel like we have to go into it. So you mentioned a couple times that you're married, right? And you mentioned a couple times that you met your husband through the military service or ROTC in college, right? Mm-hmm. But you didn't mention his role in the business and things of that nature. And you didn't talk about you being an entrepreneur and how that affects the family dynamic. So, you know, I'm curious to know, number one, does he play a part as far as like does he hold a title in the company itself, or do you separate the company from your personal relationship? And if he doesn't hold the title in the company and you're kind of like the entrepreneur and he does something else, how has that affected you guys' relationship with you now traveling down an entrepreneurial path and him not? So it's two different paths and two different understandings.
Yeah, we fucking crazy entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
That's why we and we trying to keep the black family together.
Yeah. You know, it can be a lot, Ashley. It can be a lot, right? For somebody, we've talked to so many people, men and women, right? Men and women, that if you're not an entrepreneur, you don't understand what it takes, right? You only eat what you kill, right? To have a 9 to 5 and have the safety net of just going to work and being told what to do and just doing your job to whatever capacity is so much different than you out there hunting. You understand? So sometimes, you know, like he can go to work 8 hours. Your day as an entrepreneur is 20 hours. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You like comes back and you're like, I still got these patents. I'm like, shut up. You know, so again, we're not trying to get too personal, but it's very
no.
It's very important again for our culture to understand. You said you were married, so we need to understand in your eyes and in your space, how has entrepreneurism from a female to a male, how has that played out in your journey?
Yeah, most definitely. So I'll say I started dating my husband in 2009. So we actually met in high school.
Okay.
He's been kind of with me throughout the military and all these things, but he's always known that I've had this entrepreneurial kind of mind. Saying my dad, he's an entrepreneur as well. But he's always known that. So we've been married almost 10 years. This July.
Hold on, don't speak past that. Hold on, get the horns for that now. Don't pass that. Congratulations. That's black.
Thank you.
Absolutely. 10-year marriage. Congratulations.
Yeah.
We need that. See, you can't speed past parts like that, because that's your support system right there.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
10 years married. Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
so he's very supportive. You know, actually, I started the business because the reason we moved out to Phoenix is my husband, he's always had a passion for like aviation. He's obsessed with aviation. And so he's always wanted to become a pilot. Like that's his lifelong dream. So when we moved out here, he was in his pilot school full time. He was a corporate professional for a major airline since he was in high school, was able to move his way up through the ranks. So then he got the opportunity to go to a pilot program that was going to take him from, you know, like that basically straight to the airline. So when we came out here, I was like, okay, let me see like what I can start up to kind of help us while he's going through his pilot school until he becomes like a flight instructor so that we can have that income. So I never imagined the business to grow so big. Like when I was first doing it, he had no idea what I was doing. He was just kind of like, okay, you know, great. Like, you know, I think this is awesome, but he was not involved. Only right before we were about to launch the website, I was basically like getting scammed by this company for the website. They strung me along, said, "Hey, we're doing this with the website." They weren't doing anything. It was like this Pakistani company somewhere. So anyway, my husband,
business.
That's tough.
Risk.
Yeah.
It is tough. So my husband got on the call, and the guy saw like another guy that kind of looked, kind of like him a little bit, because my husband is Indian. And so when he saw him, he was like, so my husband's like, "No, stop. Like, this is a complete scam." Like, so from that day, he started getting in, he started helping me, like, with the fine print. His background is in operations and customer service, so he just dove straight into the business. He does like all the customer fulfillment, customer service, all the emails, everything. Like, he does all of that. Without him, honestly, I've become a little bit spoiled, because I'm just like, I'll just tell him, "Hey, something's wrong with this. Can you do this?" He's like, "Hey, I already did this. He's helped with all the pop-ups, help with the logistics. He loves the brand more than me, I would say. He
love
gets the baby for that.
Yeah.
How could you not tell that part of the story? Come on now.
I know. Yeah.
Part of the story. You gotta tell that part of the story. And what's your husband's name?
Zach,
we're gonna try to get you a plane. We're gonna work on it. For your contributions. We're gonna talk to Ashley. We're gonna try to get you maybe not the G7, but we're gonna try to get you like a good G3, good G4 or something. Okay.
Yeah.
A Cessna twin turbo 320.
yes. Look, any of that he will 100% love.
We love that.
Love.
No, see, again, like, we talk about the village, Ashley. We talk about the village. Our community is village based, right? And success is based on the support that you have around you. So that story is just as important as you getting the patent, right? Because if he wasn't so supportive, right? If he wasn't so supportive, it doesn't put you in the mind space that you can be in to be clear, focused, and push through with the energy that you did to do what you did. Because if you got to go home, or when you finish working, you go home and you got to fight and argue. Now you understand what I'm saying? So that is such an important story that has to be told, a part of your success story, of the support that you've had from your husband and your family to travel with you. Because I'm telling you right now, family is some of the hardest people to deal with when it comes to business, right? Especially when you're the boss and they feel like, they'll go work for somebody else, no problem. And get yelled at and go through the motions and nothing. But when it comes to working for you, the slightest little thing is, "Oh, you can't talk to me like that." And then, you know what I'm saying? That's why they said don't work with family, right? Because it's amazing how, as a culture, we'll take so much from the outside world, but when it comes to our own people, then you're ready to draw that line in the sand immediately. Then now you're ready to puff your chest. "I will not stand for this, and my human rights have been violated." And now you're the Reverend Al Sharpton.
Yes.
I want to commend you. I want to commend Zach, because we're big on family. Me and Jarrett are actually family, right?
Oh, nice.
And not like, family that didn't know each other, like family where our family's family, we were raised around. We're family. But guess what? We couldn't do this with everybody. Like, let's be clear. You understand this journey that me and him are taking? We could not do this with everybody. You understand?
The
families, right? Yeah. So again, like, it goes to show you the support is very, very important. It's integral to your inner peace, mentally, right, spiritually, to allow you to go on and do great things. So we had to hear that story, man. So congratulations to you, man. And on your 10 years together and everything, man. Shout out to Zach, man. We're gonna get you a Cessna. Zach, we're gonna get you a Cessna.
Yeah, he said, maybe one day, whenever I leave the airlines, I'll go fly for 1920. I'm like, Lord.
Oh,
there you go.
Hey, there you go.
I'm all for it.
Yeah.
And how about this? When Jarrett was telling you about your documentary, how dope would that be as part of a documentary or a commercial where your husband is flying the plane for your product.
Yeah.
Oh man, like you understand what I'm
It doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Or
Like,
even just what you're saying right now with you and your husband building a business together. How many other stories or pilots, little episodes of anything show black love, show what the ins and outs, show us arguing, show us not doing it. But what it does is going to build both of your brands, right? It's going to be people reaching out to Zach because they would love customer service. They love the way he is, right? And therefore buying more product. It all goes back. It's all back to that content and hitting that emotional connection. So if you don't get anything from this like build that.
Yeah.
Show that realness. Show that realness.
Zach,
you're right.
Zach, you better hold on tight.
You know what I'm saying? That's real.
You better hold on tight, Zach. You better not fuck up. We rooting for you, Zach.
No, wait, no shit. No, I'm rooting for the brother. Ashley, you better not fuck up either. This brother's real. This brother for real over there.
Yeah, listen, if you want to 20 instead of the 350, go on and get him the twin turbo engine, man. Why not? Spurs a little on Zach. You know, Zach, just don't get too crazy and get like, what's his name? Birdman and all that, ask for crocodile seats and all the crazy shit. I want a Louis Vuitton interior. Don't get too crazy.
Just get the Birdman. You want crocodile seats, you get the
don't ask for the best hanging like DJ Khaled and all that.
That'd be crazy.
No. I mean, without him, honestly, though, like, and there are couples because I've come across them where they're like, oh no, we don't talk to each other about business. Like, we keep everything separate. Right. To me, that is the oddest thing because he and we talk about everything. Like, we have no secrets. There have been days where, like, obviously dealing with inventory, you hit delays, you hit cancellations, all sorts of things. There have been days I've just been like, forget this. Like, I do not care. I'm done. And he's told me, like, no, like, we're going to make it right. Like, something's going to happen. Even from all the rejections, it's been days where I'm like, you know what, just like, I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. And he's been like, no, like, you can do this. Like, you can keep going. Like, you got this. Something is going to work out, So yeah.
We like Zach on this show. Man, Zach. I love it, man. Yo, cousin, man, I ain't gonna lie, man.
This is dope.
I love to hear stories like this. I just want to thank you, Queen, for allowing us the opportunity to share your story. This is what this platform was created for. We have to get these stories out because, once again, I'm not being funny, but CNN doesn't care about the family dynamic. You understand what I'm saying? That other media doesn't care about it because it's in a positive light. Now, let you become super successful and some scandal shit happen, and then ain't gonna be the first. Then that video you had that got 60 million ain't gonna be the #1 video no more. you ain't get posted by the Shade Room. Let Zach fuck up, or you do some crazy shit, get seen out somewhere with somebody, and then your ass gonna be on the Shade Room.
100%.
That's the reality of the situation. So we have to create things like this so that us as a culture help to get our own message out there to inspire others to say it is possible and it is happening, and get your ass out there and go support it because you're supporting everybody else. Why not support one of your own, right? I love
100%.
it.
That was dope. That was definitely dope. We got to extend the invite too, So if you're in New York, sis, you and Zach, y'all want to pull up, we'll next pop-up shop, anything you guys got going on, let us know. Anything we could do, our platform is your platform. You're part of the family now. If there's anybody we've spoken to, we've had other designers, right? Shout out to Tamil, Amia. We have a lot of good connections, people in the same space. We'd love to put you in contact. Anybody you want us to reach out to or speak to, let us know. We're going to make that plug happen immediately, all right?
And we're talking to a lot of black and brown VCs. How about that? So we definitely
get Arlen Hamilton on the show.
Absolutely. So what we like to do, Jared, do you have a personal number?
Oh, yeah. Just got it.
So what we like to do, Ashley, is create a group text between us three so that we can share information because we're in contact now. We're having conversations with black and brown VCs about situations just like yours. So that way, when we get an opportunity, we could actually forward it to you and at least put you in communication with people that want to support brands like yours. And they're looking, because the bottom line is we also face this. When the money's out there, a lot of our companies and what we have don't meet the requirements to get the money.
Right. 100%.
Right? Or the funding or the support, right? So when we have somebody that can say, yeah, she can check off all of these boxes or whatever the case may be, it at least starts the conversation. And that's what we're here to do. We don't gatekeep. We like to share resources. So welcome to the More Than the Title family. You know what I mean? You know, we hope to continue this conversation and build with you and help be a part of your success, man. I love this episode.
Yeah, this is dope, man. Actually, speaking of that,
y'all.
we will because we're gonna be fighting on our behalf on next Thursday, right? We're doing a panel on the lack of corporate investment for Black businesses and Black media, right? So we're gonna be doing that next week. We got co-founder of FUBU, J. Alexander Martin, on the panel. We got Doug Melville on the panel, which his story is crazy. If you don't know it, sis, give you the quick thing. His grandfather was the first Black general in the United States Army. He went to the Red Tails movie, right? He was the Tuskegee Airman. Right. And so he went to the Red Tails movie, and Cuba Gooding Jr. was supposed to play his grandfather, and they whitelisted his name and his family's heritage from the movie. He had a character playing him, but it wasn't his name. It was John Smith or some shit. And he's like, what? How you do that? So that's what the importance of our own narrative. Imagine being the first Black general and they take your name out the shit. Right? You do all that goddamn work. You sacrifice so much, right? And that's why it's so important for you to create your own media. Nobody can tell your story but you.
Yep.
You're right.
I love it, man.
Thank y'all so much. Thank you.
And we out on that note. You heard it was good. We got next week.
No, I'm just saying, what we got coming up next week?
So we got Jamar Jones next week. We also got Mario Armstrong. We're gonna be live streaming the LinkedIn event, y'all. So it's gonna be a 4-hour live stream. We rocking with y'all. It's gonna be the executive vice president of Paramount, BET Plus, Uggs. We got Goddess Rivera from Essence. It's gonna be a lot of good people, a lot of Black affluent people out there. And we live streaming it from LinkedIn headquarters, y'all. And who's doing it? More than a motherfucking title. Yeah.
I'm bringing out another color of them lemon pepper steppers because we went to the event yesterday and bust y'all asses. We were shaking hands and kissing a lot of babies. When we go to LinkedIn, we're gonna do the same thing. Ain't nobody doing it like us. We're gonna talk our shit. It's more than a title. We're gonna see y'all next week. We live streaming from LinkedIn. Not everybody could do that. Get it clear. And we see y'all other podcasts watching. Not only are you calling, we see y'all tuning into the YouTube. Fuck the big.
We love it. Big Bronx, not the little.
Big Bronx, not the little Bronx. We out of here. More than the title.
What you know about me? Seen it all, heard it all. Oh, what you know about me? I done it all. Just one.